Karen Lynn, and I'm an electric. The name of the show is Bach to Rock, and we're here to show kids that they're not to reject the wisdom of history and the things you can learn from the past, but to take those things, bring it into present day, and modernize everything and take an instrument like the violin and bring it into present day. Well, I think that the past has everything to do with today because it brought us to where we are. And melody is melody, whether it's played on an electric instrument or a traditional instrument. Melody is melody, and rhythm is rhythm, and that can manifest in different ways using different instruments, but it all comes from the same. 5-string electric. The traditional acoustic violin has 4 strings, and the additional string is a low string taken from a viola. So it's kind of like a violin-viola combo.
And how old is this instrument?
This one I bought in 1987, and it was made by a man named Tucker Barrett.
And it's from made out of tiger maple, it looks like?
It's curly maple.
Curly maple, okay.
Yes.
And how does it differ from an acoustic violin? What can you do with it that you can't do with an acoustic, and what can acoustic do that this can't?
Well, there are different kinds of electric violins, but the traditional acoustic violins are hollow. And inside is a little thing about as big as my little finger called a sound post. And when you pull the bow across the strings and they vibrate, the vibration moves around inside of the instrument against the sound post and comes out of the holes on the top of the violin. And this particular electric violin is a solid body. There is no sound post. So when you pull the bow across the strings and the strings vibrate, they're literally picked up by pickups very similar to the ones used on an electric guitar, and they're inside of the bridge. And there are 2 for each string. And they're made by a man named Richard Barbera.
And what kind of sounds can you make with this that you couldn't make with the traditional violin? Well,
because I use these different sound effects that are traditionally made for electric guitar. But so what? You can use them on any instrument, and I tell the kids that too. What they do, you play into it, it rearranges the sound waves, and then when you hear it, it's totally different. So all the sounds that are possible for electric guitar, you can do on other instruments, especially the violin, because so this is my traditional acoustic violin. How many strings on traditional acoustic violins? Call the answers out. Yeah, that's right. All traditional acoustic violins have 4 strings. Well, I know that you guys know what the violin sounds like, but it's easier to compare it to the electric violin if you hear them played back to back. So this is my version of a piece that Johann Sebastian Bach wrote for his students. It's called Minuet 1. Well, I probably played it too.
The music that you're playing up on stage, you're creating it at the moment, and then you do feedback. Yes. And you do sound loops and things like that.
Right. I'm actually playing through. Whoops. I have these 2 boxes here. I call them looper boxes. They're called Jam Man. They're made by a company, Lexicon. Well, they were. And it gives me 32 seconds to play whatever I want, and it records right now, on-the-spot recording. That's how all the sounds are able to keep going. And then you can arrange it so that you can do limitless amount of loops, layers on top of it. And you can also set it that it will stop recording and you can play on top of it. So that's how it works. want them to know that the violin is a really cool instrument, and it's really fun, and they can play whatever they want as long as they learn how to play first. But it also applies to any instrument. So I want them to think that they can think outside of the box, learn how to play on your instrument first, and then do whatever you want.